Yo, so because of the job that I have, I get to do some pretty cool things. And this weekend, I got to do something really, really cool, and I wanted to share it with you guys, but I had to wait a little bit. See, something that has inspired me and always will inspire me are people that push themselves to the limits. And most oftentimes, you see that through sport. For this person that I got to interview, they are just not a regular person. They are an MVP, they're a finals MVP, they're rookie of the year, they're champion, they have gold medals. I mean, just a collection of awards that goes to show you that if you put your mind to something, you can really do whatever you want to do. So even though I make videos these days, the lens of greatness for me often goes through the filter of basketball, and this player happens to be, I would consider to be, one of the best players of the game, and continues to impress, continues to play hard, and continues to set the bar for those before and after. So when they hit me up and asked me if I wanted to do this unboxing, of course I was all over it. One of my favorite things to do on this channel is to meet and be able to talk to these people and then share those experiences with you guys. And the shoe that we're talking about today is actually a shoe that you've already seen on this channel. It's called the Adidas Pro Bounce. With that being said, I'll stop hesitating. Wait, I'm gonna hesitate a little more for those that don't remember. For those that don't remember what the Pro Bounce looks like, this is the shoe. This is the Pro Bounce. This is what it looks like, but the shoe that I'm about to unbox doesn't look like this. It's a different colorway, and it has a lot more details on it that I think you guys are really going to enjoy. Anyway, all right, so with that being said, here's the video. Big shout out to the folks over at Adidas that made this happen. Let's go. Yo, hey guys, it's poppin'. Jacques Slade here, back with another unboxing, and today I have no one other than Candace Parker. And first, let me say, she's WNBA Finals MVP, MVP period, WNBA champion, Rookie of the Year, gold medal. I guess really the first question that everybody is kind of thinking is like, do you just want to win all of the things? Can other people win? Do you mind?
No, we want to take all the championship trophies home.
All the trophies, and that awards too, MVPs.
No, we're worrying about those championship trophies now. That's what we got to get the championships.
I can appreciate that. I can appreciate that. So recently we saw you working out with Kobe on some footwork. How is it being able to kind of tap into like the past greats?
Well, when I look at him, who is the best basketball player, arguably.
I'll take that.
I'm from Chicago, so I have to say arguably.
Arguably, right, absolutely.
And he is continually wanting to get better, and you see that in his footwork. I mean, he mentioned that he took dance classes to improve his footwork. So when you see somebody as great as him that continues to work at their craft, it just inspires me, who I think you can teach an old dog new tricks. So I know I'm 32, a little bit older in the game of basketball, but I think I can learn a few things.
I feel like 28 to 34 is when like basketball players, especially pros, like really hit their stride.
Yeah,
it's like when they really,
down.
The game slows down, you start to understand the game more. It's not necessarily just your athleticism, you're starting to really like think the game a lot more. So I wouldn't say.
I hope so. I like that thought. I like that mode of thought.
So I wouldn't say an old dog new tricks. I would just say just getting better at what you already do. Just getting better.
Yeah.
The game is maturing.
Yes.
As opposed to just being raw.
I'm maturing as well.
Yeah, there you go. So obviously the reason that we're here is because of these. So let's go ahead and take these out of the box.
Okay.
So I'll give you that one, and I'll take the other one. So there's a lot of inspiration here.
Claps.
What do these colors mean to you?
Well, anybody that knows me knows I bleed orange. I went to the University of Tennessee, and I think Tennessee is a family. Anytime you meet a fellow volunteer, we all just like start singing Rocky Top. And so in all of my shoes that I play on the court, I always have a hint of orange in all of my shoes. And so I think the inspiration behind this was, you cut me, I bleed orange, so you might as well have them on the shoe.
Why is Tennessee so instrumental to your game? Where did that start?
Well, I think 18 to 22 is a real crucial part of your life. And I think that's kind of when I formed who I am, as well as the friends that I have. I've kind of kept in touch with all of them, your teammates, your best friends. They all come from those type of years, years. And so Coach Summit, the late great Coach Summit, best coach, I won't even say women's coach, best coach in the world.
Absolutely.
Ever. She was a huge part in who I am as a person and as a basketball player.
And speaking of Coach Summit, there's some quotes on here that very specifically referenced to her.
Yep.
It's left foot, right foot, breathe. Can you explain like what that means?
Well, when I went to Tennessee, you couldn't have tattoos. You had to cover them up. So I don't know if she would completely approve of me having a tattooed on my arm. But I got the left foot, right foot, breathe, repeat on my arm tattooed because I asked her, like, how does she handle everything with so much grace and dignity and whatever life throws at her? And she said, I just put one foot in front of the other and I breathe. And so that's been my mantra ever since.
And I would say that obviously the lessons that she's left with you, they've resonated because I feel like you walk with that same sort of grace and that same sort of dignity in the way that you play and the way that you display yourself in public. So
I appreciate it.
She does an amazing job.
Coach Summit's been huge inspiration, and I mean, I think everybody that's come from underneath her that has been mothered by her at some point will represent her in some way.
Now, get into the kicks. So these specifically, I'm getting a little technical here.
Okay.
So these go with bounce as opposed to boost. Is there a preference for you, or is it more just like you like the pro bounce model, and that's where the bounce came in this situation?
So I like the model, but I've played in both. So I've played in the boost and the bounce, and I think I've said it before. Adidas is always ahead of the game. From the early days when I was first starting to play 11 years ago, to the crazy lights when they came out. I feel like we're always ahead of the game, and as well as making things that look nice. You want to be able to tell a story and be able to play in a solid shoe.
Now, this isn't the first time you've had your name on a shoe.
No.
Does it still have that same sort of feeling when you see a shoe with your name on it?
Well, the first two PEs that I had, it was extremely special because I think as a kid you grow up in your driveway and you're like dribbling and you're like, man, I'm gonna have my shoe one day, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
And then when it happens, it's surreal. But I think this experience, just being able to share it with my family, my friends, my daughter will lace up these shoes, and that's really special to me.
And speaking of your daughter, kind of the next generation is inspired by you now. Like you've come to the role where you're, instead of looking up to people are starting to kind of look up to you. So you are, I guess maybe let's say, inspiring the next wave, so to speak. Do you take that role on? Is it something that you think about, or is it just like, I'm just going to play the game the best that I can right now and think about that later?
No, just play the game the best way I know how. I like Adidas. When I was younger, I was taller than everybody, and all of my coaches, when I was younger, wanted to just put me by the basket and just do a left and right hook and score underneath the basket. And my dad and my mom were like, no, like, you're gonna learn to dribble, you're gonna learn to pass, you're gonna learn to shoot, you're gonna learn to do all these things. And so I think for me, I hope that my inspiration of the next wave will be versatile, continue to grow and continue to work on your craft.
So I guess the last thing I really want to just ask is if there was anything you could say to young girl, young boy, or just a kid out there that's looking to reach the level that you are now. They want to play the way you play, or they want to play at the level in which you play. What are the words you would tell them?
I would say set goals and then expect to exceed them. And I think you control a lot of your vibes, a lot of your things that happen to you just with how you think of things. And so I think just be positive, be the hardest worker. One thing, I've worked out with Kobe, I had Coach Summit as my coach, and everybody thinks they do these enormous things well, but no, they do the little things well as well. And so I think that's what I would say to my younger self, or to my daughter in this case, or the next generation.
Yeah, I would say those little things do help, because even watching the video with you and Kobe was very specific of what he was teaching you. It wasn't like, hey, just do a turnaround jump shot and fade away. It was like this foot, move your hips this way and shoot it that
Shoulder,
way, which I think,
all that.
Like it's very, very
and
specific.
I had to tell Kobe I had his shoes. I was wearing his Adidas shoes.
Nice.
Yeah, back in the day, the moon boots.
Remember
the moon boots? Yep.
Absolutely. That's the end of the unboxing, guys. This is Candace's Pro Bounce. They're 120. You can get them right now. This is a very specific colorway. As you can tell, it means a lot to her. So go ahead and pick yourself up a pair and get some buckets. As always, I appreciate you guys. I'm Jacques Slade. This is Candace Parker.
No, I'm not allergic.
And we'll see you guys soon. Peace. So, hope you guys enjoyed that video. Big shout out to Candace. Big shout out to the folks over at Adidas. Really appreciate you guys having me over to the store and being able to partake in the event and to really do an unboxing with Candace. It was a lot of fun and she's super dope. All right, guys, as always, I appreciate you. Make sure you like, favorite, subscribe, and all of that good stuff. And I'll see you guys soon. Peace. All right, quick note here before I end the video. Something that really just struck me about this interview as I was editing it is how much she reminds me of Kobe, like both on the court and off the court. Like she has a very Kobe vibe to her, and the energy that she gives off kind of reminds me of Kobe at all. I don't know. Let me know if you guys thought about that or if she reminded you of Kobe at all. If you haven't, like, go back and check it out. But she kind of gave me that vibe. Anyway, as I said, I'm out, guys. Peace.